time for a look at your West Tennessee forecast with meteorologist Brian Davis.
Welcome in, everyone. Well, I hope you had a great day so far. Happy Tuesday. We had a very cold morning in the low 20s. Since then, we've only gone into the mid to upper 40s out there, and those winds have started to turn a little more from the northwest to more out of the west, and they'll become a little bit more out of the southwest at times as we head through tonight. 46 degrees. We got a little bit of cloud cover coming back in here in Savannah and surrounding areas. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that. Could see a little bit of precipitation overnight tonight. Let's go ahead and go from Savannah. We'll take off and take a little trip over here to Memphis right now. We got 45 degrees. Wow, look at all that traffic here in the 5 o'clock hour. I'm glad I'm not going through Memphis. I love to come visit you guys, but not when the traffic looks like that. I like to choose the off hours there a little bit. Right now, winds are calm, but occasionally out of the north, 45 degrees out there, and very dry. Dew point only at 12 degrees. And look at this here, 9-degree dew point in Trenton, where they're doing a little bit of a controlled burn there in the background, but quite chilly there this morning. You can see, of course, that wind is calm as we're seeing the smoke is just kind of rising straight up instead of kind of blowing along there. So that too lets us know that this is reading accurately. But look at that 9-degree dew point, 28% relative humidity. We have gone from a humid air mass with storms to extremely dry air. This is like the kind of air you would experience if you went out in the middle of the United States, out in the drier continental areas. So yeah, it can be tough, a little bit of irritating, especially on breathing and you know, that kind of thing. If you have respiratory problems, as I mentioned the other day, it could lead to a little bit of aggravation there, not from pollen and things of that nature, but just because it is so very dry, and we're not used to that here in the South, in the Mid-South, and parts of the Southeast where I grew up here. Beautiful scene here from Paris, where we're at 39 degrees, winds out of the north right now at about 3 miles per hour. But again, wow, that dew point down at 9, you hardly ever see it that dry here in West Tennessee. Right now, a little chill here to the north. We got 39 from Paris over towards Union City, back over to Dyersburg and Troy, and we've got 41 right now in the Covington area, 43 in Jackson out at the airport, and 43 in Parsons right now. We got 46, as we mentioned, in Selma and in Savannah, and 45 in Memphis, Somerville coming in, and Bolivar coming in at 43. So you'll still want that jacket. I had a lightweight jacket as I made my round to visit some of you out across the three-way area today, and had a great time visiting with some of you there. But oh, well, you didn't stay out in the parking lot very long. That wind was still blowing at times out of the north northwest, and we're talking right now about 13 to 14 miles per hour. So that, with the mid 40s and northward where we're in the upper 30s, that really makes it feel a lot colder than it actually is. So let's take a look at the surface map. I mentioned the cloud cover. Why are we starting to see some cloud cover in the evening? Well, we've got our warm front. Now, I know it doesn't feel warm out there right now, but we've got our warm front. That's the red line here. Remember, we've learned that the flags, as I've taught you over the years, point in the direction of the movement of the air, and the red is the warmer air. And so that warm air, a lot of the warmer air is locked in down here, but the very beginnings are right here, and it's lifting in our direction. But right along that frontal boundary, you got some precipitation. We got some snow, got a little bit of sleet, but the steering winds are coming in around this high, just like that, and they're going to drive some of that precipitation down into West Tennessee late tonight. Now, granted, the warm air's rising in. It's going to keep us above freezing, I think, throughout the entire night, at least most of us. So it's not going to be a problem. But we'll take a look further at this on Futurecast coming up, as well as the satellite and radar per se. But here's a look at the current national radar and satellite, and you can see, yeah, that some of that is just trying to make its way towards us. Here's St. Louis, here's Omaha, Nebraska, and you can see it is coming in our direction. So the winds, it just blows where the mid-level wind sends it. Those mid-level winds we call the steering winds, up about 500 millibars. Well, the Futurecast, depending on the model you're looking at, this is the HRRR. It's trying to take more of that precipitation a little further off to the east, but I've been looking at these things long enough for long enough years. Some of our other models are showing that its trajectory is taking it right down into West Tennessee. And as you'll see here on the radar and looking at the steering winds map, that is exactly what's going to happen, even though this model here, the NAM model, is still trying to pull a little further over. But just hang on, I'll show you. This is why models don't always tell the complete truth. I think we'll get a few snowflakes tonight and a little bit of light sprinkles in between there. But right now, we're right kind of on the edge. The warmer air locked in out here. Look, 93 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona. We got 72 in Denver, Colorado. Dallas, that feels pretty good compared to what we're dealing with right now. They're at 63. So all of that is kind of lifting this way, right along that boundary. That's where you've got the development, and that's where you've got the precipitation. And again, those steering winds pushing down to the southeast. So let's take a better look at all of this. No, you're saying, Brian, are we going to get any of this stuff tonight? Well, it's not going to be a major problem, but here comes the cloud cover we're seeing on satellite. Here's what right now is just some cold rain, and there's been some snowflakes show up on here. That means they've been reporting some snow at times, but you can see that trajectory is taking that right towards West Tennessee. But we've got time. It's going to be about 11 p.m. till about midnight till some of that starts to really work in to our northern counties, and then it'll push down through during the school bus stop time. But again, you can see that cloud cover kind of getting its act together, coming in. Here's some cold rain and just north of there. But the models are not doing a good job handling this, and you can see a lot more precipitation further west, so there's really not much of a way that is going to miss us off to the east. So get ready. It's not going to be a lot. It'll be just a very minor amount. Some localized areas could see a little bit of a dusting on the grassy surface areas at best. Now, I think most of us will just see a little bit falling at best, and that's about all it'll be. So here we go. Let's take a look at the rest of the evening. Clouds start to filter in as we go through the evening hours. You'll notice some precipitation, 11, midnight, 1 a.m., right through the morning, and then a little bit right here at 6 a.m. possible. But the good thing about it, we're going to be above freezing at the surface, so I'm not anticipating any winter travel problems whatsoever. Much like with some of you that had some snow, including a little bit that we saw here in Medina yesterday. No problems there. So again, if you're heading out on the front porch tomorrow, about 38 at 6 a.m., 39 at 7 a.m., and you'll have a little bit of a light sprinkle. Could be just cold enough aloft that you could see some occasional snowflakes there, mainly in the morning. Then it moves on, and then we're going to bring the sunshine right back into our lives. So let's go ahead and take a look at our bus stop forecast. Heading off to the bus stop, it could be as low as about 34, so take a jacket. And again, some of those light sprinkles could mix with some snow flurries at times, but look at what happens tomorrow afternoon. We're going to finally start to warm back up. We'll be at 60 degrees during the afternoon. We're going to bring back the sunshine, and then you're going to love the weather that we've got coming up for the rest of the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Check it out. Now today, 40, low to mid 40s, 33 at the lowest tonight, 61 tomorrow, a few showers mainly in the morning, and then we become mostly sunny in the afternoon. 44 for tomorrow night, 73 on Thursday. That's going to be a nice day there. And then we get to Friday, a beautiful day, upper 70s. And the weekend, look at that, in the low 80s, lots of sunshine. Are we going to be putting on the suntan lotion, laying by the swimming pool? No, but because the water would be too cold still from all the cold nights. But it's still going to feel a little bit like a touch of summer in that weekend. That's a look at your weather. Have a great rest of your afternoon and early evening. We'll see you back at 10 on West Tennessee Weather Network.
We are West Tennessee Weather Channel.